Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to everyone. Greetings to you all from your respective locations. Once again, you are welcome here on the Éveil des Connaissances platform. In international news, while both sides, the Russian side and the Ukrainian side, are trying to come together and find something concrete. Meanwhile, President Vladimir Putin from Russia is stepping up efforts to organize his army in preparation for future offensives he plans to launch against Ukraine and possibly against NATO, if of course that proves to be necessary. Vladimir Putin has just revised his military action plan. And at the same time, Germany is taking a tougher stance. The new German Chancellor refuses to understand, he refuses to listen. He has developed 3 principles on which Germany's and Europe's actions toward Russia and toward anything that encourages the conflict in Ukraine will now be based. For the moment, what should be said is that nothing has leaked from this meeting so far. In any case, for now, there is nothing concrete. They are just in the process of setting things up. But as for the actual content, so far, there is nothing extraordinary. The Russian delegation made a statement at the Russian embassy in Istanbul. They made a statement saying that there is nothing new under the sun, but that it will simply be a matter of resuming negotiations that unfortunately have been interrupted for 3 years in Istanbul. This refers to the project that was mentioned to us yesterday, which is what Russia is going to present, and that is what they will be working on. In this video conference, we will specifically discuss this new decision by Vladimir Putin, which he made by decree, and the position of Friedrich Merz, the new German Chancellor, who refuses to listen, who refuses to understand, and who is determined at all costs for Europe to assert itself against Russia. So, before continuing with the video conference, I ask you to share it as much as possible. Give it lots of likes, and above all, don't forget to share the video conference as much as possible. Share it in all the groups as much as you can. What should already be noted is that Russia is concentrating its forces along the front line in anticipation of a possible new offensive. Russia is preparing for a new offensive. She's getting ready. This information is reported by CNN, the media outlet CNN, which cites 2 American officials who were able to intercept this information. This means that despite what is happening on the Istanbul side, Russia is getting ready. And this is being confirmed by the decree that Russia has issued, Putin's decree. In this decree, issued by Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, has extended the Russian defense plan by an additional 2 years. He extended the Russian defense plan by 2 more years through a presidential decree. What does that mean? The Russian defense plan was supposed to end this year. It is in this plan that the special military operation, etc., is included. It should end this year. Putin has just pushed this plan back to 2027. This means that the delegation that went to Istanbul, including the head of the delegation himself, who is President Putin's advisor, Vladimir Mendek, he himself said that the tasks and objectives of the delegation were assigned to them by President Vladimir Putin, and that they themselves received the president's approval to come and negotiate on behalf of Russia. So, while they are there, they already have the decree in mind. They know that Russia is prepared to continue the conflict until 2027. Russia's defense plan is already set. So, based on that, the negotiations will be affected. it should be noted that up until now, they haven't started the real talks. On the other side, the German Chancellor, who spoke yesterday before the German Parliament, the Bundestag, is insisting adamantly. He laid out 3 principles for Germany's support of Ukraine. He would also like Europe to join him in this approach because Russia is seen as the state that wants to devastate all European countries. Friedrich Merz, the new German Chancellor, has committed to supporting Ukraine and firmly resisting Russian aggression. He stated the 3 fundamental principles. According to him, the fate of the European continent is being decided in Ukraine. This is the summary of these 3 principles. The fate of the European continent is being decided in Ukraine. He says it is being decided in Ukraine and Berlin. He says it is being decided in Ukraine and Berlin. Berlin will base its policy on the following principles. Here are 3 principles. Firstly, Germany, please share the video conference with me. There you go. So, firstly, he says that Germany will maintain its support for Ukraine, but Germany is not and does not want to become a party to the conflict. Germany will maintain its support for Ukraine, but Germany will not become and does not want to become a party to the conflict. We have not yet seen Russia's response to this. However, he said Germany will remain neither a mediator, neutral, nor an external observer. Do you see the confusion in his statements? He says, however, Germany will not remain a mediator, nor an outside observer. That means Germany will be involved in the matter. Why would Germany want one thing and its opposite? You don't want to be a mediator. You don't want to be an outside observer. That means you will be taking action. So in that case, do you consider yourself a stakeholder? Secondly, he says confronting Russia and helping Ukraine must be a collective effort of the free world. He emphasized that Russia would not be satisfied with territorial gains or victory in Ukraine. He highlights Moscow's alleged involvement in cyber attacks, acts of espionage, sabotage, and disinformation campaigns across Europe. So the second principle is to confront Russia and help Ukraine. Confront Russia. How do you confront Russia? Can you want to confront Russia and refuse to be a stakeholder in the conflict? That's false. When you decide to confront Russia, you become a stakeholder in the conflict. Thirdly, Merz firmly opposed any peace dictated and imposed by Moscow against Ukraine's will. Here he is referring to what is happening in Istanbul. For him, it will be a dictated peace, and he does not want that. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the situation for now. So please share the video conference as much as possible. And I will get back to you shortly with more news. This was the voice of your one and only samurai.